T90 later in the cast. Very exciting day for us today, and we are locked and loaded and ready to restart this match.
9 hours of Age of Empires action here. It could not be better for us.
It's beautiful, it's chaos, we've got a live audience in front of us. These guys are pumped up. We met most of them last night at the meetup. They're ready to rock and roll, so are the players, and we will... Ooh, yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good point.
Back.
That's a good point. Gotta move to spectator mode. Here we go. Malians v Malians on Nomad. Let's try again for this Nomad match. Here we go, guys. Game number 2, Viper versus MbL, coming at you live from Cologne, Germany. Viper in the yellow trunks as Malians, MbL in the red trunks as Malians. They will start off this map on Nomad, looking for a TC placement and a dock. Again, I'm Killer B, joined by the man himself, Nilly. What's up, Nilly?
Hey, man. So, MbL, so unfortunate with the last dock positioning that he's kind of overreacting, if you ask me, and just thought like, oh, I see the water, I will instantly build a dock. He could have run a bit further there, and yeah, now is a bit closer to the edge of the map. Maybe not the optimal dock, but still he has at least 3 big fish around his dock, so it will carry him nicely to the feudal age.
Yeah, for those of you guys just joining us, we saw the Viper take game number 1 on Arena with the Turks, and in game number 2, both players have had their choice of Civ. They've both gone with Malians. What do you think about the choice of Malians in this case?
It is a pretty standard choice here if we are playing Rise of Rajas. They have cheaper buildings. That means the docks cost less wood. They can build a house, build a dock, build a TC, and a fishing ship. So while on other civilizations, you're just totally focused on getting your TC up, you can already have a fishing ship working and collecting some sweet food for you. Your eco is just so much better compared to most other civilizations.
Yeah, and notably to players who don't play a lot of Age 2, you will remember that Nomad, you start without a scout. So players who find some sheep will actually send those sheep around to scout the map and slowly get a little bit of vision. Both players need to find out where their opponent's town center is. Of course, they can drop that TC anywhere. Viper has dropped his in the north, relatively close to some shorefish, close to some deer that will help him in the early game. Food is paramount early on in Nomad. We'll also see the Viper on a wood line with a nice gold pile near him. All in all, a pretty nice first TC in a Nomad match.
But still, let's think about the last game. MbL did call a restart at like 2 minutes 10 because he didn't build a dock in time. Now look at the dock timing of the Viper. It's over here in the middle, and yeah, he is just super late with that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he would go for the restart as well. Maybe he wants to save it for his own home map in a potential game number 3. But yeah, his eco is worse. Maybe he likes his map so much because he's close to the shoreline. He has deers basically in his CC. He has gold close by. He's scouted stone, and yeah.
What do you think about the strategic decision of MbL to choose Nomad? This is a map that does have a lot of RNG involved. Where do your villagers start? Where do you find some food, if you find some food? He's really rolling the dice here with his home map. What do you think about that? You think it's a good gamble?
Like, that's basic tournament strategy. If you're the better player, go for the low variance approach. If you're the worst player, go for the high variance approach. He needs the next 2 maps won for him. So if he plays like Arabia, Kilimanjaro, standard map, he has like the 30-40% that he has. It's pretty tough to win 2 out of those, but maybe with Nomad it can get so crazy. I believe it is the right choice for him.
I think so too. I like the roll of the dice from MbL. He played fast and loose. That's what got him qualified. We got to see him playing fast and loose today if he's going to be able to carry this first set of matches versus the Viper. What we're seeing is MbL chewing up his boar under his town center. He will be able to go out and grab another boar. Decent early food economy for MbL. I think the Viper might have a little bit more free food on his side of the map with a couple of sheep. Also a really nice deer patch and a half to the left of his town center and some shorefish. So a really, really great starting TC here for the Viper. And like we said, it's a bit of a roll of the dice, but he chose the right spot on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players actually have pretty good spots. They have access to all the resources, and we have to really address the very specific map here, because normally in Nomad you have like one landmass and being surrounded by water, but that's not this case. Like, take a look, there's a big pond in the middle. That means you can maybe control that water line in the middle a bit more, can even fish, control the land masses as well. But I believe the main difference is just take a look how easy the walls are for the Viper to the left-hand side. Walling out that spot, walling the left-hand side, and he's completely wall off against MbL because that lake is there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Viper has a really easy wall off here. MbL's wall off is a bit more challenging. It's still not incredibly difficult, but what we could see is MbL in the mood to make a push, and the Viper would be able to probably thwart that pretty easily with some early walling. Standard strategies for Malians on Nomad. Of course, we're not going to see any Dark Age aggression, probably not much in the Feudal Age. What are you expecting to see unit-wise from these two players?
Well, Fire Galley is obviously a good option. The thing is, just think about, show me the point where a Viper will build his docks. It will just be on top over here, exactly. He has massive amount of fish there, will probably add more docks. The big problem for MbL, he has a dock far out from his home base. So he will have fish over here and is building a second dock now at the left-hand side. And having that split up, we already saw that happening so many times. Fishing ship on the right-hand side, galleys on the other side. The Viper might toy with him this whole game.
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22. MbL will have a pincer set up here with a dock on each side, but of course, Viper with 2 docks in the middle should be able to defend his fishing economy pretty nicely. We are still seeing the Viper chew through those early game sheep. Got to love the ability to find those sheep. If you look at the Fog of War, look at the amount of scouting that the Viper's done. That's really impressive considering he doesn't have a scout to start this match. A little bit of walling coming in from the Viper, maybe indicative of his late game strategy. Going to close down one flank for now. MbL on his side has not gotten very much scouting done. He probably has an idea of where the Viper's base is, but he is really not knowing too much about this map. But he does know where there's a gold pile. He does know where there's some stone. Got a safe wood line, has a good food economy. Is certainly going to have a chance here to take game number 2, and he has to, or else he's going to lose this best of 3 and go to the loser's bracket.
Yeah, that's something he absolutely does not want to do there. Literally all that are waiting for him there. And a very intense best of 1 coming up for us. But actually MbL didn't see that little. He knows the dock placement, he knows the big wood line, he knows that the Viper will have a nice wall up there. He's basically knowing where the dock is as well. So I think MbL has the info. Let's take a look what the fishing ship are doing. Maybe he will pull them all to the left-hand side because he realized, damn, they are so exposed at the right-hand side. Maybe build a dock at the left-hand side, or it was just some scouting and he's running around, which is some idle time. At the same time, Viper on the way to Feudal Age.
Yeah, Viper is going to be up first to Feudal Age, and like you said, he's going to be able to pump out warships and pressure this fishing economy. MbL on his side still needs a bit more food, so he'll go up a bit later. Sending a couple vills over to gold, will be able to go to castle quickly, but he might get caught wrong-footed by the Viper in the Feudal Age on the water.
Indeed. Fishing ship count at the moment, MbL 9, the Viper 7, but being on Feudal Age already 40% to the non-clicked up MbL here might give MbL a world of trouble here. Fire Galley against Fishing Ship, not on the counter list when I checked last time.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to see the Viper double down potentially on doing a little bit of aggression on the water because he's going to wall the land shut. And like you said, it's an easy wall off. Second dock coming now from the Viper. First dock is on the side. Viper's doing a little bit of scouting, I think, with his fishing ships right now. And I think he has an idea of where MbL's fishing economy is. Viper, for the moment, is just about 2/3, 3/4 of the way up to the Feudal Age. MbL will have a little bit of a lag behind, and he's going to have to find a way to keep his fish alive, maybe hiding them in the corner of the map. 4 villagers on gold for MbL. The Viper on his side will have 3 villagers out on gold. And we will see these guys get to the Feudal Age, and we will see the Viper cue another fishing ship out of one dock and a fire galley out of the other. So one.
I believe that was a misclick. I'm pretty sure he wanted to build a fire galley there. Let's see if he wants to. That's a beautiful thing. When the fishing ship will come out, I will take a look at Viper's face and we'll see if he's taking his head or if he's thinking like, nice, another fishing ship to improve my eco here.
Yeah, the Viper here with a moment to do a little bit of damage. He's decided to go with a fishing ship out of one dock. His galley on this side will be unabated to the quarterback. It will go straight into MbL's fishing eco, and MbL's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's going to lose a little bit of his economy, probably 1 or 2 of these ships. Feudal Age for MbL will be in just a moment. Viper's got the first ship out on the map. He's got that aggressive fishing ship that Nilly talked about, and he's building another. He's continuing to queue fishing ships in the north of the map. We will see fire galleys doing some raiding in the south.
Okay, so if he's the mastermind that I call him sometimes, maybe he took a look at MbL's uptime. Obviously, you're dropping 50 points when you click up, and he sees that MbL is actually going for the Castle Age approach here. And then he thinks, okay, if he plays Castle Age, I can just go for some fire galleys and increase my boom at the same time. Might be interesting if he saw that. MbL will hit the Castle Age first, though, nonetheless. He still has a lot of fish left. 10 of them still working, and yeah, Blacksmith and Market are up for him.
Yeah, but I think we can both agree that these fire galleys out early, disrupting this fishing economy, is still a major advantage for the Viper. He hasn't raided on the other side, and he's actually going to get raided on that side by MbL. So MbL will be the aggressor in the northern part of the map, and he's going to start taking down a couple of Viper's fishing ships. So a really exciting back and forth game here. MbL going up a little bit later, relatively close to clicking up to Castle Age. Viper on the other side has the gold, but needs quite a bit more food, and getting that food is going to be difficult with his fishing economy idle like this.
Yeah, MbL will click up any second now, because he still has the fish on the right-hand side, something that Viper probably did not expect. Now needs to pull his fishing ship. MbL will click up any second. On the other side, we have the Viper with 600 food, 300 gold, so not far away. He is still going on the deer, has a lot of food in the bank, and yeah, probably will just wait for his Blacksmith to finish, and then we'll see who has more fishing ships going into the Castle Age.
Yep, Viper dropping his Blacksmith now as we speak, has 2 more villagers queued, is getting very close on food, but MbL will be up first. The water fight continues. Both guys are trying to submarine their opponent's fishing economy. MbL here clicking up a little bit later, getting his galleys out a little later, but he's idled the Viper's eco. He's going to get up to castle first. He's going to have a few lower number of warships, but in the end, I think MbL here is going to be in a really nice position as the demo ship comes out.
Oh, the demo ship can do so much there. A beautiful counter against the mass fire galleys that the Viper is going for. But the most interesting thing that we didn't address yet, stone upgrade for MbL. And look at his main TC. He is heavily on stone, so he will drop an aggressive castle for sure.
Yeah, and MbL here is going to find some walls to stop his aggressive castle, but I do think it will be nice if he can take over these resources on the left side. Still fighting on the water. MbL continuing to pump out fire galleys. He's actually
what a beautiful block by MbL there. Did you see that? Oh, Craigasm. Oh,
Nilly's getting excited, guys. I hope you guys are as well. We've got fire galleys from both players continuing to come out. Castle Age on the way. Couple of eco upgrades coming now for the red player MbL. He will hit Castle Age in just a few moments. And as you said, Nilly, he's heavily on stone. He's got the stone for another castle. Where do you think he's going to end up dropping that?
Oh, demo ship of the Viper, but being pulled back, might lose a fire galley if the Viper decides to commit. Oh, not time to, that's the best split, going down. Oh, and not losing a single fire galley. Took some damage against one there. I believe that was pretty nice micro there by MbL. Maybe trying to return the favor. He has 2 demolition rafts out for now. Let's take a look. He's not researching anything in his docks yet. So, oh, he has 3 demolition rafts queued up at the left-hand side dock. But the most important thing that you did show, it is a castle. How much do you like that positioning of the castle? I think it's not blocking too much, is it?
I think the castle position here is kind of, he has to do it. He can't push through these walls just yet. It's as aggressive as he can get. Like you said, notably, 3 demo rafts waiting in the wings, maybe going to submarine the Viper's eco here. Viper has taken the north side of the map for the moment. MbL is out in the middle with fire galleys pushing around. Viper starting to stonewall up. MbL's castle will be up in a few moments. And we will look to the left. Here we go. There's those demo ships coming out. They are headed straight toward the Viper's economy. Absolute chaos here. A couple big demo shots. Did not do a ton of damage, but the fire ships will come in and probably clean up a lot of Viper's navy here. Viper is now up. Ooh, there's the demo shot we were looking for. The Viper scoring a big, big shot there. Fire ship in for both players. They are continuing to fight it out on the water. MbL investing a little bit more in the land with a castle and a siege workshop. Viper will defend, at least for now, with a monastery and some stone walls. And we will see how much of the map the Viper can control against MbL's push.
Yeah, let's see. He's going for the Tibetos. Not 100% sure how good they will perform. The Viper, as you said, will go for the monastery defense here, getting some monks out. a manual added by MbL, and then he can raid that wood line pretty nicely. It's pretty much impossible for the Viper to wall up the left-hand side as well, at least more than Palisades. And it's a pretty scrappy game here on the water side. Beautiful timing there by MbL, just attacking shortly before the Viper had all his upgrades for the fish out, for the ships out. And I believe it's still looking a bit better, at least when we look at the army count. 4 ship against 8 at the moment.
Yeah, MbL right now is falling behind a little bit on the water. Viper a little ahead in the scores, but of course MbL does have this castle up back at home. He is starting to put out the Gebettos, and he is going to have a Mangonel pushing on Viper's woodline. So here comes the land aggression for MbL versus the naval aggression for the Viper. Who's in a better position, Nilly, in this point in the game?
I would say it is the Viper. Villager count pretty even. Water control pretty even, I would say as well. But the Viper didn't invest so much into the military here. Oh, now, as you pointed out, Redemption, the important upgrade to convert the Mangonel aggression here. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like for now we'll see the Viper drop a second TC. MbL doing a little bit of scouting out with a few units, figuring out what the Viper is up to. 2 town centers for the Viper, 36 vills for each player. MbL is on 1 TC as far as I can tell. He has spent his extra wood on a siege workshop and a Mangonel, but we will see a second town center soon for MbL. On the water, a couple demo ships popping out. MbL looking for the big shot on Viper's fire galleys. Or fire ships, I should say, and we will continue to see if they can find the right location. Of course, if you demo onto one ship, it's not really worth it. You need a lumped up group of galleys. Viper at the moment with 10 military does seem to still be queuing ships on the water. MbL more focused on the land.
Yeah, but he's only now going for the second TC. The Viper already building farms around his TC. But villager count, it's still 38 to 38. Fishing count, MbL still has some alive, but not really working. The Viper, 5 fishing ships, somewhat efficient, I would say. And yeah, the big thing is that the Viper just beautifully using his monks, already getting some relics. He has so much map control, so much map vision as well. And yeah, just the thing that the map is so wallable for him. Just beautiful usage of that. Okay.
Boom, the big demo shot comes in. Still not the greatest shot in the world, but MbL will follow it up with a couple of fire ships. He'll get the Viper out of this end of the map. Viper is still fishing with a couple of ships here in the south. MbL has mostly been cleaned up. Little firefight in the center. MbL waiting in the wings with a demo ship. He could get a good shot in here if he wants to bring that into the fight.
Why is he not using it? Oh, finally it's coming in, microing it back, and getting a lot of damage done there against those.
Pretty nice bit of splash damage there. Both of those ships going down to very low health. MbL will now clean the Viper up here. Viper's Navy numbers are dropping a bit, but I think he's focused a little bit more on land and producing more and more villagers. At the moment, though, 2 villager advantage for the Viper. Nothing too major. MbL's Mangonel push continues, and we kind of see a game that's kind of fallen into a bit of a stalemate. It's really close here.
Yeah, absolutely. Populations very even, villager count pretty even, military not too efficient. The only advantage for the Viper at the moment is the relics and probably some fish, but the fish is getting raided all this time, so we cannot really factor that in as well. It feels like we might go into Imperial Age to this game. We have to remember, MbL has a lot of upgrades from Feudal Age, but the Viper has a second wood upgrade here as well.
Yeah, one disadvantage for MbL. Not a disadvantage, but it's just a little bit unfortunate. He's pushing toward the Viper stone walls. He doesn't see those yet, but he's going to find out that the Viper is really safe on that side of the map. Viper's actually weaker near his town center, so if MbL can continue to use that Mangonel and push in on Viper, he might get a couple of Gebettos into that economy. Both players taking a bit of stone, I think, at the moment. Viper, though, floating quite a lot of gold. Pop cap for the moment on 63 total pop. MbL spending it as fast as he can get it, so he's ready to continue to fight this out in the Castle Age.
I'm a bit surprised by the amount of farms of the Viper and still no 30C added. It feels a bit for me that he might build a castle pretty soon and stay on 2 TCs and try to go for the trap tennis war early on here, which is not the typical Viper style, especially on like a very wild map like Nomad, but maybe that's the right choice here.
Yeah, we've got a really intense matchup here. Again, this would eliminate MbL from the winner's bracket. He would have to go down to the loser's bracket and work his way back into this tournament. He's got to win this game. The Viper took game number 1 on Arena. This is MbL's home map choice. And we are seeing a really nice battle. Similar villager number, dead even on population. Both players have a couple of feathers in their cap, things that are going well. But in general, this is a game that's turning into a little bit of a stalemate. We've got the Viper walling up a bit on land. MbL with a castle drop, but not able to push too much. Looks like the Viper controls the north of the map pretty nicely, has plenty of gold to work with for quite some time. Can't protect himself that well from a naval rush. If MbL had a few more ships, he could damage this economy quite a lot. But the Viper still seems to be standing toe-to-toe, standing nicely on water.
Yeah, and the time is ticking against MbL here. The Viper already 3 relics in the bank, 2 more on the way. And then having 5 relics, the Viper can just camp it out. He is looking at a solid 700 food, 700 gold here, so his Imperial Age timing is around the corner. And yeah, building the castle very defensively here in his main base. That means he wants to get traps out, he wants to build those on a hill. Thinks that it might go into a trap wall. Let's take a look at the resource of MbL. He is clicking up any second as well, and he's even clicking before the Viper. Super close game, and look at that tag of MbL.
MbL clicking up now.
And he is researching Loom.
And grabbing Loom. A little bit late on the Loom, but he's going to be safe. I don't think he lost a single villager. University coming down for the Viper. Maybe getting his buildings in order. MbL will be dropping double monasteries to go with his siege workshop. Maybe a monastery monk push. We did see a couple Gebettos from MbL, but we don't see a ton of those on the map right now. Military sizes are still very small. These guys are playing this one out in what is a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Water fight continues, still trying to snipe the last couple fishing ships. Here is MbL. His fire ships continue to roll in. He's got numbers advantage on the Viper, but the Viper's going to bring a few monks over to make sure that he can push this back. Viper needs to control the water because this resource pile specifically is just so close to the shoreline. I think he'd be really hurt if MbL got around behind him here.
Absolutely, and it's such a tough decision here for MbL. Where does he attack? Because it feels like he can do some damage on the land, he can do some damage on the water, but finding the perfect balance there is so tough while we see some demons going against each other. Oh, interesting split here by the Viper. And at the moment it feels like MbL will go for bombard cannons on the land, at least that's what I'm expecting, and go for a lot of monks. And I just looked up, Malians have basically all the important techs. They have block fencing, they have atonement, they also have redemption. So MbL going for another arena game?
Yeah, MbL here does look like he's going to go for it again, just like we saw in the last game. Here's an interesting point. The Viper can see this because of his outpost. He can see these monasteries being dropped, and that nugget of information is going to help him a lot to react to MbL's strategy.
Oh, that's so true. How did MbL not clear that up? He sees so much there, the whole strategy. And yeah, it seems like MbL is now giving up water. Already lost one dog. The other dog is at 170 HP. So Viper seems to be safe, and he is switching on to Arbalest as it seems. Interesting tech choice, maybe even hand cannoneers.
I think you're right. MbL will grab block printing, continuing to upgrade his monks. He has hit the Imperial Age, and he is going full production on monks at the moment. Couple Gebettos out to go along with it. 2 town centers down for MbL at the moment, continuing to build out his economy with 67 villagers. He's going to try to make a push here, but Viper will hit Imperial Age relatively soon. As you said, Viper dropping archery ranges back at home. Imperial Age is in for the Viper. Fletching, chemistry on the way. He will continue to have to upgrade those units. What do you think of the Viper's choice here to go archers? It seems like a good counter to MbL's monk push.
He is going hand cannoneers and bombard cannons. Again, yeah, MbL playing with a lot of monks, so it will be 12 range monks against 12 range bombard cannons here. Not 100% sure. It really comes down to the micro. I want to see MbL go for bombard cannons here as well. And look at that upgrade of the Viper. He knows that monks are a big threat. He saw all the monasteries, and he's going for the face upgrade.
Yeah, MbL will knock down this monastery most likely. Viper is sending monks over to relocate those relics. It's a little bit of an awkward position, but he's going to grab those relics and move them to a safer location. Viper doesn't have a lot of map to retreat to here. He doesn't have a lot of map control on this side. So if MbL can push, he can really pinch this economy. Monks continuing to come out for MbL. Viper grabbing faith as we speak. It is going to be Trebs, Gebettos, and monks at the moment for MbL. Viper on his side is, as you said, going with some hand cannons here. We also see bombard cannons on the way. It's a little bit of a slower build-up, but those units should counter MbL's army pretty nicely.
And now is a small timing window that MbL has. At the moment he has so much more army, not a real mass of hand cannons out. Viper basically only one trap, 5 monks. That's his whole defense. He is housed as well. Cannot really get onto the big amount of army that he wants to go through. Resources absolutely at the limit. MbL going for the trap war, and I believe he still has 2-3 minutes where he can do major damage. And if he can get this castles down, all those villagers down, he's in a good spot.
This is one of those times in Age of Empires where we can see a player win this game right now, but he has to win the game right now. The longer this goes, I think, like you said, the harder it's going to be for MbL. He does snipe Viper's Treb down. The Gebettos can run in when they are ready. Looks like MbL will knock this town center down first. And this is going to be a real problem for the Viper. These units are going to be spreading through his economy. Hand cannons at the moment in defense for the Viper, but only a couple of them continuing to produce those numbers. He'll cut through Gebettos quickly if he gets enough of them. So the clock here is ticking. Viper coming forward with the gunpowder units with a couple of monks, and we'll see if MbL decides to push in.
And that's very interesting engagement. It's so important that he controls and converts those bombard cannons correctly. Now monks against monks. I believe the Gebettos with only 5 range, not really helping out there. And it seems like a small pause here. The Viper having some technical issues. Now we're getting in such an intense phase at the moment.
Yes.
Still more villagers here for MbL, so the time isn't that bad against him. And now on his attack on the way for MbL, and he's getting redemption himself.
This is really heating up, Nilly. We've got a great game on our hands. 10 villager advantage for MbL, making a big push on the front. Viper's got a really nice unit composition, but here comes an Onager shot, and that will hurt the Viper quite a lot with splash damage. Bombard cannon shots firing in. These Trebs are in a bit of trouble. Trebs trying to snipe that bombard cannon from a distance, but the Viper defending pretty nicely. We've got a really nice battle in the middle, and it's anybody's game to win.
Yeah, but I believe the unit choice is just so much better for the Viper. At the moment, still a bit better numbers for MbL since he has more... Oh, damn it. Killing a bombard cannon, but exchanging that against the trap. So, kind of a fair choice here for MbL since he has a more immobile unit. Let's see how redemption will help MbL out now.
Yeah, the difference here in range for this bombard cannon is a big deal. You can snipe onagers, and that is a big damage to MbL's chances of pushing on that side. The castle drops for him as well. Viper at the moment is spending his resources as fast as he can get it. MbL will drop another castle. We've got the war going down right now. Monks coming in, trying to grab conversions. Looks like MbL will get a couple converts here, but his hand cannons from Viper are absolutely chewing and spitting out these Gebettos at the moment. MbL's going to have to retreat.
Yeah, but he's not really retreating. He's going to the left. And Onager, maybe can
double Onager shot.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Oh, right in the middle.
And let's see if I can get another round. It feels like the Viper is trying to micro his heart out. There we can still see so many more hand cannons going down. Onager's dead now as well, though. And it feels like both armies pretty much reset. Look at that 2 military only here for MbL. He's in a world of trouble.
MbL is in a lot of trouble, but he's trying to fight this back with a little bit of panache, couple of nice Onager shots. Viper starting to treb down this forward area. MbL's brand new castle just got finished building, and already we've got treb fire hitting it. MbL is in a lot of trouble. He's getting counter pushed. He's still got a 20 villager advantage, but the units that the Viper has chosen has put him in a position to win this game. MbL still popping out Onagers, still trying to get some heroic Onager shots, and we'll see if he can do it. He needs one to pull this game back.
Yeah, maybe more than one. Let's take a look. Now more monks converting from the left-hand side. We see block printing out or on the way now for our player in the yellow trunks here, trying to really get the converts against the only real counter of MbL at the moment, the Onagers.
Yeah, MbL desperately trying to hold the line with Onagers, building up castles, trying to keep his castle here on the left alive. Viper's one treb on that side is doing a ton of work. MbL sniping another Onager. Viper here looks to be playing the role of the Python, slowly squeezing MbL's chances of winning this game until he is going to kill him. But MbL still clinging to a hill, still has a shot here. He will drop another siege workshop, taking stone really massively, going to try to protect against this push from Viper.
And still no chemistry here for MbL. He isn't freeing himself to check for the strong units that the Viper has. No bombard cannons, no hand cannons. Yeah, the Viper needs to retreat a bit now against the monks and Onagers, but in the long run, still Viper with a so much better army composition.
MbL here pushing on the other side with a couple Gebettos and a Monk, just trying to disrupt the Viper, killing some villagers on that side. Viper still stonewalled, but at least for now, that Treb from the Viper has to retreat. MbL's castle will stay up. Still, Onager production continues. They've got to dodge bombard cannon shots from a distance while they can. Critical mass, though, of hand cannoneers here in the middle. Makes it tough. Here we go. Big Onager shot coming into that group. It's a good double Onager shot. Viper will retreat once again after taking some heavy losses.
Yeah, and that castle is very faulty at the front. Bombard cannon already out and a trap set up as well. And he thinks better of it. Oh, a convert there against the Onager. Not getting the Monk. And look at the right-hand side. Now, MbL is trying to boom there, but the Viper already preparing a land attack. Has some archery ranges out, and that will be a sneaky attack against MbL, who's still heavily ahead when it comes to villagers. 40 villagers ahead, but military count 28-5.
Yeah, MbL here with a huge villager advantage, but the Viper is pushing on him. Viper being very aggressive here in the early to mid Imperial age, has knocked down a couple of castles, or one castle, may soon knock down another. Here we go, Monks coming in, bombard cannons from a distance, hand cannons still cutting down Gebettos. More Trebs coming from MbL as we speak, and we do see those hand cannons coming in, as you said, on the east of the map, and MbL's got nothing here to protect this bit of his economy.
I still question the choice of the Gebettos here. What did they really do? They can't really fight short distance, they can't really fight long distance. They will always get out microed. Viper just having so much siege now. Look at that, 3 traps, 3 bombard cannons. And MbL is only relying on that castle, but it might fall eventually.
Yeah, this is the pivotal castle for MbL, camping it out on top of the hill, trying to get more onagers in, but of course he's outranged massively by the Viper's bombard cannons and Trebs. Trebs continuing to knock on the door of this castle. The clock is ticking for MbL as we look to the south. Continued raiding coming in from those hand cannons. Viper coming forward to drop some towers on MbL. MbL trying to get a desperate blacksmith up. Maybe he wants to wall in this left side. But the Viper is not going to let him. Just a half dozen hand cannons here are absolutely chewing up MbL's eco. MbL with a counter tower that will come down to try to hold this side. But this is really, Viper's putting the squeeze right now on MbL.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see MbL trying to do the trap tennis, but the castle is going down to 1k HP. Now the movement here of the Viper. Is that not maybe an overextension against the Monks and Onagers? We will see. The castle might fall down 400 HP. Onager shot pretty solid. Let's take a look. Maybe the Onagers can do wonders against the traps or the bomber cannons. He's trying to close that down. Let's see, no ground attack so far. The dance still continues. Beautiful split by all the hand cannons. Onagers going down. And where's the army of MbL here? We can see 7 on the tab here, but that's 5 traps. He has no real fighting units at the moment.
MbL dancing nicely there, getting some good trades, but I think the Viper comes out on top, knocks down that castle. He's going to lose the Trebs, or rather kill the Trebs. The GG, well played, is in from MbL. This best of 3 goes to the Viper in 2 games. What are your thoughts here?
He is a big, big favorite to take the Soul Tournament. And yeah, we really saw MbL maybe underprepared. I asked him, like, how much did you train before the matches? And he said, like, yeah, I played some like non-expansion games against the very best in the world, which isn't the worst training, but the handshake now, MbL against, or with the Viper there. But still, the Viper just so experienced with all the civilizations. He knows what the best army composition is. He played with very low army there, and he played it like very Turkish style here, maybe even like how the Persians would play it, and I believe the Gebetto, not the right unit choice.
Like we said early on in this map, the Viper's TC location allowed him to play a little defensively and wall in. Unfortunately, MbL wanted to be aggressive, but he couldn't be too aggressive with his castle drop and his Gebetto push, and that took a lot of wind out of his sails. Really great game number 2 here. We will see MbL later on in the day. He's still alive in this tournament, clinging to a little bit of hope to come back from the loser's bracket and try to win it all. Viper will go on in the winner's bracket, and he will take on either Tato or Leary, who are going to play it out here live next in front of our eyes. Can't wait to see that, guys. And we will have that for you in just a moment. Let me check out the achievements in this game and let you guys enjoy the timeline, the beautiful timeline that everybody seems to love.